Now, just as we can have a sprite turn away from or towards a mouse, so too can we have a sprite turn towards another sprite. So our previous one, we have the fly turning away from the mouse. Well, now we want the eyes to turn towards the fly as it buzzes about the stage. We want it to look as if the eyes are nervously following the course of the fly on the stage. So we want them to rotate in relation to the fly. To do this, we're going to attach the turn towards sprite behavior to each of these eyes. Once again, we can get this behavior, from our library palette under Interactive Animation, Animation Interactive. Okay, and we drag Turn Towards Sprite into our cast window. Just got Turn Towards Sprite, that's the one there. We dragged it into our cast window. Now we can close our library palette. Now this particular behavior needs to know which sprite it's supposed to turn towards. So we need to find out. All right, fly is what we want these eyes to turn towards. So that's our fly, our fly sprite. It's in Sprite Channel 7. That's important to keep in mind because when we drag our turn towards sprite behavior on top of our left eye, let's start with the left one. It's going to ask us a couple things. It's going to ask, well, do you want to turn towards or away from that sprite? We want to turn towards it. And the sprite that we want it to turn towards is sprite number 7. So we enter that there. We say OK. And now we have a behavior attached to our left eye. And if we rewind, play our movie, we see the effect that this has. The one eye turns, but the other one doesn't. Well, that's kind of strange, but that's the way it is. Okay, so we need to attach the behavior to our right eye, and this time let's attach it using the behavior pop-up. Close that cast window there, and move our thing here. Okay, back. Okay, so we have it attached to the left eyeball. We want it to be attached to the right eyeball. So we select the right eyeball until it's selected there. Okay, and we choose Turn Towards Sprite from our behavior pop-up. This will attach that behavior to that sprite. Okay. Again, it's going to ask us, do we want to turn towards it? Yes. Do we want to turn towards sprite 1? No. We want to turn towards sprite 7, which is the fly. We say OK, and we rewind and play. Now let's take a look. Hey, notice both of the eyes are moving in a way away from the fly, or I mean towards the fly. Okay. So we've attached the same behavior to both of these sprites. Now it's important to keep in mind that we can change the parameters for a behavior that's attached to one sprite without affecting the parameters for the same behavior attached to a different sprite. Now, let me give you an example. For instance, we can change the parameters for our right eye so that instead of turning towards the fly, it turns away from the fly. And that will have no effect on our left eye. Let's do that. Let's view the parameters of the eye. We can get to the parameters again, remember, by going to the behavior inspector for this particular one, or we can right-click on the sprite. Of course, it's selecting the wrong sprite. If we right-click on the sprite, we want to select behaviors. That's going to bring up our behavior inspector for our right eye. And we have Turn Towards Sprite attached to this sprite. And if we click on the Parameters button, we can change this so that it says away from. We say OK, close it, rewind our movie, and play. Now watch this. Now notice the one eye is going in sort of the opposite direction as the other one. So we've changed the parameters for one, but it didn't have any effect on the other one. And we can see that by selecting our left eye and clicking on the behavior inspector. There's the behavior for our left eye, because that's the one we have selected. It's context sensitive. And it says towards. Well, so we have this one still is set to towards, but the other one, if we select it and do the behavior inspector, select it and say parameters, this says away from. Well, let's change it back. That's better the other way. So we say OK and we close it. And now we rewind, play, and it's back the way it was before. It's following the course of the fly across the stage, which is just what we wanted. Okay.